What's going on, guys? It's your boy WF Colonel, and in today's video we're going to talk about how you can cause more fumbles in Madden 18. Now, before we get into that, this is a brand new YouTube channel for myself, so if you appreciate this video, if you want to see more things like this, hit that subscribe button down there and enjoy the video. So guys, probably the most important thing when it comes to forcing fumbles on your opponent is what you see on the screen right now, that hit power rating. Now what that hit power rating is it's pretty much the likelihood of the chance of you causing a fumble on your opponent when your defender interacts with the offensive player. Of course, the higher the rating, the more likely the chance of a fumble. Also, there's a few other things that go into forcing fumbles as well. The fatigue of your opponent's ball carrier. Now, if they're fatigued and they get smacked, the higher the chance they're going to fumble the ball. If you catch them with a hit stick when they're juking or spinning, that as well increases the chance of a fumble. So while we're on the topic anyway, if you look at the screen in front of you, it shows you how you as a user can start making plays to force the ball out. Now you can hit stick the offensive player if you flick the thumbstick, or on Xbox it's RB to strip the ball, or on PS4 it's R1. So those two mechanics are how you as a user can get into, getting the ball out. So if you're playing MUT and want to increase your chances of creating forced fumbles on defense, using chemistries is a good way to do it. Now, as you see to the far right of the screen, the physical front chemistry, if you activate the appropriate tier, it gives you 2+ in hit power, which goes into forcing fumbles on the offensive player. Now, every player also comes with their own traits. Here's Cam Chancellor for an example. He has the big hitter trait, and he also has the strips ball trait. So what these traits do are, so when these players are controlled by the computer, the big hitter trait will just, whenever he feels like he wants to, try for a hit stick, he just goes for it. You don't have to do anything extra. Same thing with the strips ball trait. If he feels like he wants to go for a strip, get the ball out, it's right there. Traits are important because they are controlled by the computer, so you don't have to click on to make a play. The computer does it themselves if they feel like they want to do it at that particular time. Last but not least, I want to talk about player positioning and play selection when it comes into forcing fumbles for your defense. Now, it may seem like common sense, but a lot of people they forget about this. If your big hitter is on the field, you want to put him in position to be in the most high traffic areas so he can, make those plays, make those big hits for your defense and hopefully cause a fumble. But so many times people just have their players in positions where they cannot affect the game. Now, for example, this year and probably last year, the most highly used defense as a whole is the cover 2 defense. It's the nation's defense. It's easy to use. Everyone uses it. So, but if you have a big hitter at safety and you run the cover 2 defense, you take him out of the high traffic areas. Now, for example, this is Keanu Neal for the Atlanta. Now, he is a strong safety. In the cover 2, he drops back. And then if it's a run play, he'll try to play the run as best as he can, or if it's a pass play, he'll be guarding the deep half of the field at that safety position. Now let's just talk about the run play for a second. In a cover 2, he doesn't have a run fit. He's not aggressively trying to make a play on the ball, trying to aggressively make a play on the ball carrier. You're taking him out of the game if you're running a cover 2 and you keep him at safety. Now, a lot of people don't do this, but how about you take this big hitter Keanu Neal, put him at corner? You may be saying he's not a corner though. It doesn't matter. If you're playing a cover 2 defense, he has no big range of responsibilities. In the pass game, he's only covering the flats. He's literally covering from here back to here. If he's in a cloud flat, maybe back to here. He doesn't have to have speed. He doesn't have to have range. And also, if he's playing in cover 2, if he's playing the flats are some of the most high traffic areas in the cover 2. So if they dump to the flats, they have to see Keanu Neal if he is in this corner position. They have to see him regardless. They have to deal with him. Same thing as like in the run game as well. The corner player is the force player for the cover 2. So he's gonna be in the mix at all times. He's like, even this is just what you find. He sticks his nose in here to play the run. He's aggressively trying to, contain the outside. That's what his job is. Keanu Neal would do a much better job at doing this anyway because he's a stronger player. He plays the run better. Same thing as like if you're playing at cover 3. Like if you're playing at cover 3 and your big hitter is I want my big hitter in the mix. I want him to play some type of some hook zone, or if he plays like a cloud flat or a curl flat or hard flat, that's fine with me. I just want him in a position to be in the mix of things. You always want your big hitters in a place to where they can affect the game. Put them in that position, guys. So all these things together, once you add everything together, you should see your fumble total increase quite a bit. A lot of people they don't know about the traits. They don't know about putting players in proper position. They don't know about using chemistries to increase their hit power on defense. If you're playing MUT, they just don't. Either they don't know these things or they don't use these things. So hopefully you guys now have the information and use that information. Put it to good use, guys. Hopefully this works out for you guys. It's WF Colonel. I'm out.